Live stream. Hello, hello. Welcome, y'all. All right. Looks like we are up and running. Okay, today I am so excited to share valuable insights with y'all on one of my favorite topics. And I just wrote a LinkedIn article about this. It did so well. I wanted to bring to you here on YouTube and on Facebook. What we're going to be talking about today is standard operating procedures, or SOPs. SOPs have the power to drive down operational costs in your business while also supercharging your small business value. So, if your standard operating procedures have been non existent, or if your SOPs have really turned into a total POS, I am here to help you with 5 tips to make your standard operating procedures first class. So, first tip that I have for you is video recordings. In today's digital age, incorporating visual guidance, it can take any type of learning process or complex procedure and make it more accessible. For those audio visual learners, they want to have the free form discussion. They want to hear you talk it out. They want to hear from you. And as you use no cost or low cost tools like Loom and Zoom to record this, it's evergreen. You can use it again and again. Also, you can take your Loom and your Zoom videos, and for extra credit, you can head on over to Canva, add a little Canva magic to it, put in an intro, put in an outro, a little bit of music, bonus points for bumpers along the way. But what that does is it's providing visual audio guidance to the type of learner that big companies are doing. Big companies have fleets of teams who pump these out. So do it for your small business and you're going to have a first class standard operating procedure. But that's just for visual audio learners. Now, we do have pure visual learners. And for those individuals, you're going to want to consider screen capture. Screen capture, one of those tools that I like to use is called Scribe. It walks you through capturing on your screen through softwares and systems. It creates these precision screenshots and it does take a stab at written instructions for each step. And through utilizing this, you can really showcase to those visual learners each graph, box, query, search item, every single step, and lay out the whole process in all of its glory. If you have another type of visual learner and it's more process map oriented, check out Miro. That has some great process mapping, and you can make it rainbow and colorful and all of that good stuff and very interactive. So those are for your visual learners. Now, going over to probably the most traditional way to capture standard operating procedures, that's with written instruction. And with our written instruction, it's important that we are using clear, concise, easy to understand language. And it should ideally be written at about an eighth grade comprehension level. Now, that doesn't mean that we're talking down to individuals because you've hired really great people. But what it does is it needs to be unassuming. It needs to be approachable. And you don't know who's going to be sitting in the seat. The whole point of standard operating procedures is if the person who is not in that seat supposed to be running that operation, someone else can pop in to do so. When you're leveraging or when you're writing these instructions, I encourage you, yes, bust out your trusty Microsoft Word. Awesome. That's a perfect tool for it. But also leverage and bring in the power of ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a wonderful source that can help you jazz up the language. You can tell ChatGPT in its prompts about you, the organization, about who would be reading this, and to help you really connect with with that target audience. You will also, with these written instructions, want to spice it up a little bit. Put your brand style on it, put your fonts on it, put your logo on it, make it available in paper and digital copies, because those who are written instruction preferenced, they are the ones who will read something, devour it, and they have to write their own notes. So give them that space and that time to do that. Next tip that I have is creating a checklist to accompany every standard operating procedure that can help your team stay highly organized. It also ensures that no critical steps are being missed, and it allows the team to cross check work pretty easily before it moves to the next phase of production. One of my tools that we use here at Unboxed Advisors is Carbon. Carbon has a great checklist built in that is fully customizable and automated. So for those kinesthetic learners who bring their Nike, I'm just going to do it approach to things, having an established checklist supports that specific learning style while also bringing in quality assurance too. It's just another way to implement accountability, consistency, and to drive down those labor costs. Pro tip: if you have someone starting and you have those checklists, start with them reviewing good work so they understand what that work should look like first, and then have them go into the production. I know that sounds a little bit backwards, but you have to paint the picture of where you're going first in order to then get there. All right, now the secret sauce, which you don't want to skimp out on, because the way to ensure SOPs are a living and breathing document. They have the best practices, they account for the tech integration, all the new tools, the evolution of your team. You have got to do regular reviews. SOPs are living, breathing, dynamic documents. So don't neglect this. With these standard operating procedures, if it is a weekly task, have someone else on the team do it once a month. If it's a monthly task, have someone else do it once a quarter or once every 6 months. By having someone else take over that standard operating procedure or that task on a regular basis, it allows those fresh eyes to come in. They have to use the standard operating procedures to get through it because they're not as familiar. And through that, you can catch those little nuanced changes as they're happening. You can also do a formalized annual review process as well. It just depends on how much cross training your organization has going on. So please, for the love, writing standard operating procedures, doing the video, doing the screen capture, writing them out, and putting together checklists, it's a lot of work. So don't neglect your SOPs and let them turn into a real POS. And here's why. So exceptional standard operating procedures are not just about compliance. They are the blueprint for efficiency and consistency, driving down those labor costs, operational costs, adding a tremendous value to your small business and to your practice. Just think about this. How much more valuable is a business that has all of their major standard operating procedures documented, updated, and culturally followed by everyone? Think about all of the time and money saved on training and retraining and cross training. It's pretty incredible. And not only will your business benefit, but so will each of the people that you bring into your company. By deploying the tips that I've outlined, okay, you are then hitting the four different types of learners. Hidden secret: I'm the first woman on my dad's side not to become a teacher. So maybe this is just, in my DNA. But it ensures that regardless of who you hire, you have the educational platform ready for them to do their very best work. So that is the scoop here on standard operating procedures. Do me a favor if you have enjoyed today's content, and even if you haven't, just give me a like. That would be great. A like and a thumbs up. I so appreciate it. And I will see you in the next live, bringing you more content. Hit me in the comments below what your tips are for standard operating procedures. I'd love to learn from y'all. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, y'all.